Monster RX93.1. Welcome back to Bright Wednesday. It's the Deep Dish with Aubrey. We're dishing out on all of your favorite tracks and happenings in pop culture. What's up to all of our online listeners as well as our on-air listeners? Yes, I did say online because we are live because it is a very, very special show. We have a special guest here with us today. We're seeing red here in the studio. It's Jay.
Hello. You're
Wait.
seeing red.
I love how his intro was like, hello.
I'm
Dude,
sorry.
introverted energy. We were just talking off air, and thank goodness he is a fellow introvert, so I kind of know I have a bit of an idea of how it's going.
Absolutely.
How are you? What's up? Welcome.
It's going well. It's been a pleasant day with I've been meeting a lot of cool people, and today I got to meet you. So thank you for having me. Appreciate
thank
it.
you for being here. This is your first time here live in studio, right?
Yes.
Like here, because like you were interviewed here at the Monster. I believe this was like a couple of months ago, but it was
Right.
done online.
It was through a Zoom call, I believe, or
Right.
it was like an online platform.
Right. And now you're here. And
I am.
let me tell you what, your fans, your jars, when we posted the photo saying, okay, Jay is coming here, we're going to be doing the interview live in studio, they flooded the quotes saying, oh my gosh, he's here in the Philippines already? Oh my goodness.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Dude, a lot of them are super excited. The fact that you're here, we are excited to have you here with us today. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here in person.
So how are you? How are things going?
Good. Just coming off of a festival high. We headlined 2 nights in Jakarta, Jogja in Indonesia, and then now I'm here doing some promo, and I finally got to be here in person. So a very exciting day for me.
My gosh, you seem to have had like a very, very busy past few days.
It's been hectic, but I got to meet a lot of really cool people and experience a lot of fun things that I would have never been able to experience in America. It's actually kind of changed my perspective on music a little bit, but we'll get into it later. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love how you were like, we're gonna get into it. That's my job, man.
Sorry, my fault.
It's cool. It's cool. We love it. Anywho, welcome again. It has been quite some time again. You have been interviewed here on the Monster a couple of months before, and it's been quite some time since we've had you here. So catch us up. What's been going on?
We've been doing releases. Also, we've been preparing for the festival for a while now. It was my first headline ever.
Really?
So we were rehearsing for like 3 months and just trying to find the ins and outs of the set. And I'm happy to say we're pretty happy with the 2 nights of it.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It was all worth it.
That was your first time like headlining a festival?
Headlining a festival that big, for sure.
That is crazy. How does it feel?
Amazing. I mean, I feel like the feedback has been great. Also, it feels nice to be able to get like good information and good news from festival like promoters saying like, oh, sorry, I'm really nervous right now, so I'm like stuttering and my lips are shaking.
Dude,
So like it was really cool because I think overall everyone that came had a really good night. And apparently I forgot for exactly how many amount of years, but it was the most successful in a certain amount of years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that makes me really happy having had that honor. We all just feel really blessed about it.
Well, that's your power, man. Pat yourself on the back. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, let's talk about your latest EP, One, as in
Yes.
the number, I was about to say Roman numeral. No, like the number one in itself, which is, it stands out from your past singles and EPs in terms of titles. Because like you used to have, for example, When the Rain Stopped Following Me, you had Medicated Insomnia. Those are words. So like, why do you use a number for this title? Why is this one called One?
So this first EP is called One because it's the first part of a trilogy.
Oh.
And then there will be a middle part, which is an interlude. And then there will be another EP, which will complete the project for me. So the first part is called One.
So let me guess, the second parts are going to be called 2 and 3?
No, close.
1.5.
Something like that. Something like that for sure.
So do let the monsters know, what's the story behind this? You did mention it's a trilogy. If you don't mind like setting the tone just a bit, letting us know, what's the story behind this?
Okay, so if anyone follows me online, they know I'm obsessive and I love cats. I have 2 at home, which I miss dearly.
Oh.
But this whole project timeline is based off the Nine Lives of a Cat.
Oh.
And that's as far as I'll go for now.
I did not expect that, honestly. Cats?
I didn't expect to say that today, but it came out, so it did.
Oh my gosh, you're not gonna get in trouble for it, are you?
I think I'll be fine.
Well, you seem to be experimenting with a lot of different sounds here in the album. You have like 4 tracks, and they all sound so distinct from one another.
Right.
Is this an intentional move? Like, did you create this album with that in mind, or just happened to happen?
It just happened to happen, which I love that phrasing, by the way. I will be stealing that at some point for a song. But every song has kind of signified a new step of me and my personal growth. As I grow older, I feel like it's more important, and I'm learning more so how to write about my real life.
Mhm.
And for example, I have a song called Pause,
Right.
which is in the history of EAJ, for the however many EPs and songs I've made, I've never made a fully happy song. I've done some diving, and this song is just happy. So I think I'm starting to realize that maybe I'm allowing myself to write this happy song because I'm allowing myself to be happy again.
Oh, dude,
So
love
like
hearing that.
little steps of improvement.
Right, baby steps.
Yeah, exactly.
We love that. You know, which song from the EP, I gotta ask, has a sound that you would consider to say is quintessential Jay? You hear that track and you'd be like, oh, that's me to a T.
Ooh, okay. So for the people that have been following me during EAJ, I would probably say it's Pause.
Mhm.
For the people that have been following me during my whole career, Red also has a very similar story of leveling up a tiny bit,
Right.
accepting myself for myself. I've always tiptoed around the genre of rock just because I didn't want to step on toes and because there was a past
Mhm.
in that genre. But you know, I think it's been enough time, and I think everyone's moved past it, and I think it's time for me to do what I want to do. So to answer your question, I would definitely have to say, for someone who's followed Jay from 2011 to 25,
Right.
is it 25?
Well, it's the year
I'm
2025.
fried. Yeah. 25. I would probably say it's Red.
Well, we love that. We love to hear about that. And from the way you're speaking right now, like I'm no psychologist, not at all, but I love hearing how you kind of grow with your music.
I think you kind of have to. You force yourself into a position, especially when you're doing music, where if you want to continue to make music that's refreshing to you,
Mhm.
you can't just kind of stay at the same thing and keep doing the same thing.
Oh, for sure.
And then, like, I think the easiest way to make newer and fresher music is to kind of like look introspectively and then realize what you're doing in your life. And then you can use that as kind of a mold for the music for the next path.
You're wise, man.
I'm old.
Come on,
Very
man.
old.
Don't be like that. You know, to all the monsters tuned in, Jay is actually notorious for bringing fans and listeners on an emotional roller coaster. Like you've done that since like when the rain stopped following me, and now you seem to be doing the
Yeah.
same with one. So, is there a specific message, a specific feel, or a specific journey that you wanted to take the listeners on with this new EP of yours?
I think every song there will be more context as the full project comes out, but every song is
Look at
Ooh,
him trying to
I'm trying to figure out what I can say and what I can't say.
look at
Every
him.
song is a step forward and is
Uh-huh.
a new experience. I will leave it at that.
You know what's funny, for the past few questions, Jay has been like trying his best not to Tom Holland himself.
Yeah.
To those watching here on live, you would probably see it as well. He's like trying to bite his tongue, trying to go, no, okay,
My
gotta
lips
keep
are
it.
shaking right now.
All right, don't worry. We're not gonna grill you anymore. We're gonna talk about your single one. This one Deloy. Red. What's going on today?
Red.
Let's talk about Red. So,
Red.
yes, with one, again, you seem to be trying out a little more intense sounds.
Right.
And with your lead single, Red, it's giving adrenaline, it's giving,
Yes.
intensity.
Yeah.
What's the inspiration behind it?
The backstory originally is kind of the mind state that I was in. I don't think I've ever told this part of my story because I'm not really fond of making excuses. So if I
Uh-huh.
make a mistake, I kind of just like to own up to it
Oh, for
and then learn
sure.
from it and move on. But there was a point in my life when I was diagnosed with panic disorder,
Mhm.
major panic disorder as well as major depressive disorder,
Uh-huh.
and I was put on a certain line of medication,
Right.
and the whole song is kind of what my mind state was when I was on that medication because it was a heavy dose of it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So it's kind of like looking through the lens of Jay in that timeline.
You know, I find it super impressive the way that artists like you get to bring those fans on a journey at what is actually inspired by a very vulnerable part of your life. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of us just like write down the things that we don't have the courage to say out loud. Yeah.
Man. Dude, okay, to all of the monsters who are like watching via Facebook Live, you could see from my face right now, I am at awe at how wise you are, man. You're just spitting quotes after quotes after quotes. You're Socrates in disguise at this
My
point.
lips are still shaking.
Okay, well, how does it feel like taking on this more explosive and electrifying sound then?
Satisfying. Because
Satisfying.
I think rock is something that I've always tiptoed around and I've always tried to like incorporate a different kind of element to it just because I've had it passed in, and again, I don't want to step on toes.
Right.
But for the first time I kind of just put all that aside, and I had a great excuse, which was I wrote it for a video game that I'm
Yes.
obsessed with called Arena Breakout Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out More Fun. But because it's based on a video game and like I kind of wanted to be able to appeal to the demographic of the people that play the game as well,
Right.
I kind of took the chains off and let myself go and be as rock as I wanted and unapologetic, and I'm really happy I did.
And it sounds amazing, dude.
Thank you.
It sounds
Thank you so
absolutely
much.
amazing. You know, great that you actually mentioned Arena Breakout Infinite. I
Mm,
do know that you do Twitch streams.
I do.
You're a gamer.
I have a problem. Yeah, it's bad.
How do we get to how do we get from gaming to
It's bad. It's
well,
bad.
I guess okay, fine. Let's take that answer as a yes.
Yes.
So how does it feel to have your song featured on a breakout video game?
It's amazing because I have been absolutely obsessed in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the game has a long future, and I hope it does, because if it doesn't, I have way too many hours invested in it for it to fail. So please don't let me down. But this has actually been my second song on a video game that I love, and
Uh-huh.
every time it's just been I'm just very blessed and very happy.
Hey, who
Yeah.
knows? More to come.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Now, beyond Red, you've actually explored themes of toxic relationships with your songs Merry Go Round and Ruin My Life, my personal favorite.
Yeah.
Many of your fans find solace and understanding with your music. So, what advice would you offer to listeners, to your fans who might be experiencing similar challenges in their own relationships? Or at least it doesn't have to be relationships.
Right.
To everyone who finds themselves in a dark place, in a kind of toxic place, they just want to get out, but for some reason they couldn't.
Right. Before you said that last part, couldn't, I was just gonna say don't.
Oh.
But
Okay.
couldn't changes the story a lot.
Right.
I think you should confide in someone, talking to people, and just like I know it's so easy when you're going through things to hold it in and not to talk to anyone, because either one, you're just over it
Mhm.
and you've dealt with this so much in your head that you don't want to go over it again talking to someone about it, or two, it's bothersome telling a whole story to a new person over and over and
Right.
over again.
Uh-huh.
But you talking to someone and telling them exactly what you think unfiltered will help you clarify how you see it and will make you realize a lot more things about your situation than you had originally thought.
Right. Like a support system. And
Yes.
not necessarily people who would just say yes to every single thing that you say. People
Yeah.
who could like call you out if you actually did something, something wrong. Or
Absolutely.
if there's
Real
like a flaw
friends.
in the system. Exactly.
Real friends.
And would you say at this point in life you have found your own support system?
I think I've found a few people who I can confide in, and I'm very, very lucky for it.
Oh, well, that's amazing. And good for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That sounded so backhanded. No, it's not. I'm genuinely
No,
good
I
for
totally
you.
feel you. I totally feel you.
Now, let's talk more about your musical process and your identity.
Sure.
Where do you find the inspiration for your songs, and what's your process for turning them into inspiration, or rather turning that inspiration into music?
I think what happens a lot of the time is I go into a session with like an idea, whether that's a riff or whether that's like a lyrical line or a
Mhm.
concept, and then subconsciously we'll like write out the song, and then afterwards I'll reflect on it and realize, oh, the song was actually about this,
Mhm.
and the song was about this. There are a few instances where I'll go in with a very specific narrative, like Ruin My Life was based off of my friend telling me he met this person and he knows that they're terrible for them, but
Uh-huh.
that he's willing to let them ruin their life. And
Oh,
that
man.
just felt so perfect. But in exceptions, other than exceptions like that, it's usually more of like a you figure it out and what the song is about after you write it type of thing.
Are you more of a music first or a melody first type of writer?
Okay, that's I used to be a melody first. I used to be a melody is king above everything type writer.
Mhm.
But after moving to America and writing and doing more sessions in America,
Mhm.
I think I've learned to do melody and lyrics at the same time as well as somewhat production. So it's like baseline. You kind of get a baseline for everything and you develop everything together so that it has the best congruent mesh, if that makes sense.
This is the first time I'm hearing of someone who does it all together.
Well, I don't do everything on my own.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
right. So I'm usually in a room with a producer and a talented writer, and we kind of all just come together and put our brains together.
It's kind of like some songwriting camp that you guys got on.
Exactly. Exactly. Like a group project, but everybody actually
And
works.
how's the atmosphere in those usually?
Those usually end up, I feel like the common consensus, at least in LA, is that those end up becoming a therapy session, mostly
What?
for just everybody. Cause like the day always starts off with, so how's your life been?
Like that's actually like as soon as you enter the door, "Hey guys, good morning. How's your life been?"
Because like if you write, I mean, unless you come in with the concept, and obviously there are exceptions, but usually you want to write on something real so that it resonates with you,
Oh, for sure.
so that everyone's more invested. So I guess that's kind of part of the job, figuring out where everyone is and how everyone's doing.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes a
I
lot
think
of
it
sense.
does.
Now, it's been around 4 or 5 years since you've officially ventured into the music world as a
Mm,
solo artist. And they often say that a musical journey is also a path of self-discovery. And
yeah,
as we have well, mentioned, talked about, it definitely has been for you for sure.
definitely.
So, what have you learned or realized about yourself throughout that span of 4 or 5 years?
I think the biggest change for me is definitely like I learned the hard way, and it was that I had an ego and my pride was incredibly high and I needed to break it down. And thankfully, I found a way to, and I think that helped me infinitely, especially music.
Really?
Yeah, because when I first came to America, I kind of had the belief that I wanted to do everything myself and that I knew best.
Oh,
But
kinda like
then,
as soon as you stepped in, like, American soil, it's like, "Okay, so many dreams, so many opportunities."
yes, very bright eyed, starry
Very
eyed.
yeah, very rose-tinted glasses and stuff.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But then I think working with more and more talented people and writing these songs and continuing to grow in music, you get humbled very quickly because there are absolute geniuses who will enter a room
Mhm.
and write the most incredible song you've ever heard in like 30 seconds. And then you realize, okay, so I'm a nobody. I need to just chill out a little bit and maybe I can lean on people every once in a while.
That's actually a really good realization, like, learning to knowing when you could put your guard down and that it is okay to rely on other people from time to time.
Yeah, I think that was the hardest lesson to learn. I really don't like being a burden on other people.
Mhm.
Even in the work field, like when we're writing songs, I kind of want to be able to more used to want to be the main contributor of most of everything.
Right.
But then I've learned to kind of let that ego part go, and I've learned that with that gone, the music gets better. With
Right.
actual cooperation, with an actual group all working together, the group project levels up significantly.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that you've done any less to help contribute to that
Yeah.
amazing project.
No, no, for sure. I think, yeah, it takes a while and it's kind of like a long-winded road, but you realize after a while, sometimes doing less is doing more.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Now, if you had a time machine, and this is something that I've been asking some of the people that have come on the show as well.
Yeah.
If you had a time machine and you would go back to, in your case, when you were starting out as a solo artist,
Mm.
what is one message that you would tell yourself? Piece of advice, words of encouragement, anything.
Work smarter, not harder.
Where'd that come from?
cooperation.
Oh, damn. I was honestly expecting like a long story, but he was like, nah, we're gonna finish this. I'm gonna give a sweet answer. Work smart, not hard.
I feel like that's like super underrated advice. A lot of people, like, even for like school, or like you could apply it to anything literally. Oftentimes we feel like working hard is parallel to working smart and working well.
Uh-huh.
I've come to realize that sometimes, like I said, doing less is more sometimes, and
Mhm.
sometimes you do have to do more to do more.
Right.
But I mean, it's a little mix of both. It's just knowing when and when.
Oh, kind of like finding that balance.
Exactly.
Cause like I kind of get what you mean.
Yeah.
Whenever people like work super hard, because this happened to me as well, I feel like if I work hard, it gives that sense that I'm like bringing a lot to the table, and
Right.
that in itself is like fulfillment.
It is.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're actually helping the group.
Exactly. And it also burns you out really fast.
For sure.
Yeah.
My gosh, dude. Okay, this is like the third time I'm pausing at awe. Because like he's so wise, man. What? Okay.
I'm sorry. I just don't talk enough. I'm sorry.
Oh man, why are you sorry? We love that. We love that here. What is one piece of advice that you would give to aspiring singer-songwriters who want to take that leap, but
Ooh.
are still super hesitant to take that shot?
Well, there's a few things that I think are very important. One thing that I learned very early in my career is that when you're writing music, or lyrics specifically, don't write lyrics like you're writing lyrics. Write them like you're talking to somebody, like very casually. I think the faster and easier something is consumed, the better it's thought to be to someone. Like the
Mm-hmm.
greatest punchlines in music, or like songs, or like speeches, are the lines that everyone can remember word for word, because they're easy and they're understandable.
Oh.
So there's that. And then also, I think being an amazing technician and being amazing at music, and like having the greatest voice of all time, and the highest note belt, and the craziest whistle riff, are all very great things to have as an artist. But I think the thing that really differentiates great artists from good artists, in my opinion at least,
Mm-hmm.
is how believable they are.
Define
And
believable.
so if you're singing something, I feel like people naturally are inclined to attach themselves to stories where artists sing a song where they feel like they actually mean it.
Oh, kind of
Yeah.
like that level of authenticity that you get from an artist.
Yeah, rawness.
And rawness. There you go.
Rawness.
And I feel like that's what a lot of fans like about your music as well. Your music is, emotionally tied to your journey. It's raw, it's authentic, it's you.
That's a really nice compliment. I appreciate that a lot.
Thank you. I spent all night thinking that.
Her flick is crazy.
Now we are at the second half of the year, which is absolutely crazy. So
It is.
do let us know, what are your plans? What's next for you?
Well, so one came out.
Mhm.
The middle interlude is coming out a lot sooner than you might think. I will stop that there. And then I kind of have to write the rest of the project.
Okay, I'm not so sure if this is something you could answer, but
Yes.
the second and third part, your interlude and the final part of the trilogy,
Mhm.
will they be coming out this year?
Yes.
Both?
Yes.
You're hard at work, man.
Not fully.
Not fully.
Not fully,
Not
but
fully.
not fully. You'll see. You'll see.
He has plans. He has plans. He has that smirk going on. He's like, not really, but like, yeah, but like also no.
Kind of. Yeah, exactly.
Here in the Philippines, you know what we call that?
What do you call that?
Labo.
Labo.
That's like, how do I say this?
What does that mean?
Labo. Parang labo mo. Unclear.
Unclear. I am a little.
It's like
labo.
a little joke. It's like a little joke. Don't worry. It's coming from a place of love.
I appreciate
when you
it.
say something like, yeah, it's coming out, but like at the same time it isn't, we'd probably joke around and go, labo mo, man.
Oh,
You're so unclear.
I actually am very labo. Is that how I say it? Labo?
Labo.
Labo.
L-A-B-O. So
Labo.
like labo. There you
Labo.
go. Out of all of the Filipino words, I'm pretty sure your fans are screaming at me right now.
Labo.
Aubrey, out of all of the words, why'd you teach him labo?
Salamat po.
Hey, yo.
I got you. I got you.
He studied. He's prepared. What other? Do you know other words?
Lechon. which is fire.
Of course.
Of course. I had a lot of Filipino friends when I was in high school and
Oh,
college.
really?
Yeah.
Did you get to eat like Filipino food during your time here?
During college, because I feel like even in America, it's culture for like Filipino families to throw big parties.
For sure.
Yeah, so they always did have the lechon and like all the amazing dishes.
So like you were invited to those parties? Like they would, like your friends would invite you over. Was there karaoke?
There definitely was, which I wasn't a part of, but I think all my friends in college were Filipino.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was in a lot of Filipino clubs. That's why.
So I'm pretty sure your friends would be like, yeah, you know, Jay, you're an honorary Filipino at this point.
That'd be awesome. I would take that as a big W.
Well, you know what? Okay, I will claim that right here. You're an honorary Filipino at this
I
point.
appreciate you. Thank you.
Now, unfortunately, Monsters, this is all of the time that we have with Jay at the moment. But before you go, do you have any messages for the Monsters? And of course, Tear Jars who are tuned in right now?
Everybody listening, thank you so much. Thank you for your time as well. I know that you guys have a busy schedule, but for allowing me to come here and talk for a little bit, I appreciate it. I apologize for the silences. My introvertness is introverting today.
No,
So my
dude.
apologies, but thank you so much. And this has been so much fun.
Dude, if it's any comfort, I genuinely had so much fun talking to you right now.
Appreciate that.
Like, it's okay. This may sound malabo on my end, but it's literally such a vibe, man.
It is a vibe.
It's so cool to be talking to you. And
It's
as
nice to meet
someone
too.
who is a fan of your music, it is so great to be here and getting to know more of your story as an artist. And we honestly hope that you would come back here to the Monster maybe in the future. Maybe
Yes,
we could like
please.
have some sort of a jam session. We have a setup over there that's for a band, actually, right over there, right behind you. So if you're actually down, just like let us know. We'd bring in the band and
Wait, is that a promise? Can I bring my band next time I come to?
dude, please, we'd love that.
Wait, that'd be awesome. Yes, please.
That would be amazing. Okay, you know what? You heard it first here, Monsters. Okay, you said so. You said so.
I got you guys.
Now, okay, right. Oh, it is Right Wednesday. So
Right.
I'm thinking we end the interview in this way.
Okay.
Oh, wait, but hold on. What is going on? Okay, yeah, you know what? I was thinking, technically, I have asked Jay this before we started. Before we started the interview, we played some Jonas Brothers Love Bug as well as some Bruno Mars
Nice.
Locked Out of Heaven. But again, it's Right Wednesday. So we played tracks from the 2000s till the early
Wow.
2010s. So is there a song from those years that really made a mark on you? Like something that's just like super memorable, something super special to you?
Ooh, it would have to be
Let's see if we have it in the playlist.
Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, John Mayer.
Hey, yo. Why?
If not that one.
I think we have that here.
Oh, that's gotta be one of my favorites from that era.
Hold on. Oh, okay, no. Okay. We don't have that here in the moment. But is there maybe another track? We do have a lot more John Mayer tracks here, though.
Is there Gravity?
We do. There's Gravity.
It's gotta be Gravity.
Okay, why Gravity? Before we end the interview, why Gravity?
John Mayer was someone and still someone that I just like look at and my jaw drops. He's just, for me, when I was growing up playing an acoustic guitar, he kind of embodied what a musician is. And I still to this day don't understand how his fingers move, but I love his music.
You know what? Short and sweet. Pretty much impactful.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Got that, loaded that for you. That one's coming out for you. Okay. And that ends our Monster exclusive interview with Jay. Do check out his EP1. It's out on all streaming platforms. Try not to cry, but we won't judge you if you do. Till then, it's been Aubrey of the Deep Dish, only here on the Monster.
Monster exclusive interview. Only on Manila's hottest Monster RX93.1.